This could either go really good or really not so much. That doesn't sound good at all. Here's what we're dealing with here, guys. The steering is in the way of the exhaust, or the exhaust is in the way of the steering, whichever way you want to look at it. So we could do two things. We could run the steering around the exhaust, or we can run the exhaust around the steering. Now I could cut this steering shaft right here and we can run it around the exhaust, but we're so close to this U-joint here, that would just be too much of an angle and we wouldn't really gain a whole lot. We're gonna have to run the exhaust around the steering. Yeah. So I have a few pieces of scrap exhaust, and we might have to just kind of piece together some angles and some curves and some bends and some straights and some whatever we can find to make this work. Here's what I got so far. And the other thing we need to be concerned about, we got to make sure that we can get bolts in there. So far it's looking like that'll work. We're gonna clear the steering, but here's the other issue. We're gonna end up running into this oil filter, I think. Yeah, we're gonna be aiming right towards that. So that means we got to go around that too. So we're gonna have to go this way above the steering and then this way around the oil filter, which is okay because we want to be around right around here anyway. Dang light keeps falling off the GoPro. I just stick it to the top of my GoPro with some dual lock. We'll have to replace it, but not right now. So I put an arrow on this piece, so we want to bend that like that. I don't really want to cut into these nice brand new bends here, but we might have to do what we have to do. Alright, so here's what we did. We kept cutting wedges out of some exhaust pipe and welded them together so we can get around that oil filter. We'll put this up in there, see if it worked, and see where we got to go from here. Yeah, so that'll work. I just need to turn it along the frame rail now.
Check on you.
I'm alive.
Okay.
We're not trying to make this look real good right now. We just want it to work. And look good it doesn't, but it'll work. Steering, oil filter, that'll do. Well, I think we'll put it up in there and see what we got. Ugh. Around the steering, around the oil filter. Oh, my light died. Hey, well, I'm about ready to stick this pipe up in here. So far, so good. It's not lining up perfect, but that's just the way it is. Just the way it is. Muffler, glass pack, whatever. I hate welding upside down. I'm no good at it, but we got that. Could be worse. We'll get that all welded up nicely when we take that exhaust back out at some point. We're not going to do any exhaust hangers or anything yet. This is actually sitting up here pretty good, but we're going to take this old spark plug boot protector and slide it in here. just so this doesn't rattle around when we get this thing running. All right, we did it. Catch me outside under the truck. How about that? We got our fuel line. Put that over there. We've got all our grounds clamped to this battery post. We got everything that needs to have 12 volts twisted together here. And we got our starter switch. That's clamped on the clamp that we'll put on our 12 volts. Fan works. Yeah, we're ready. But I promised the wife that she could start it for the first time. And she's not here right now. So, don't go anywhere. This could either go really good or really not so much. I should just start it and tell her I didn't. No, I'll wait. Well, look who I found. There's no exhaust gaskets, and the exhaust isn't totally welded up, so we'll probably hear some exhaust leaks. It mainly is going to run off this center carb. Take the air cleaner off. Actually, I think we'll just put a little in one of the littler cans so we don't have a big full can here. Just a little bit. We don't need the fan right away, so we're going to pull the fuse out of that so it's not on while we're trying to start it. It's loud, takes voltage. Here's your starter button. You'll have to be in charge of this battery too. If I yell at you to disconnect it, just pull this power wire off.
I'm not gonna like blow up the house or anything, am I?
I don't think so. The fire extinguisher's over there.
Yeah, I didn't know how to use it.
Well, I do. Remember that one time? Alright, so I'm gonna be on the other side, away from danger.
How close do I gotta be to the battery?
Well,
Oh.
we're just rigging stuff up here. You'll be fine. I'm gonna go.
I feel like we should have the bomb squad here. Thank God the police
The cops are next door. We got gas over here. You got electricity and sparks over there.
You got the person who's like literally scared of sparks dealing with the sparking stuff.
Would you rather spray the...
No, you remember when Cody lit his face on fire with that at our old house?
That's right, I do remember.
Yeah.
I also remember when me and Pandy were out of lighter fluid, so we had this great idea that we would spray just a little bit of starting fluid on the charcoal.
Don't spray.
Just a little bit wouldn't hurt, right? Neither one of us had eyebrows. Okay, see what it does.
1, 2, 3.
Yep. Sounds good. Yeah. Oh.
Thing, didn't you?
Yeah.
Leave it to the hobby.
We ain't got no spark. Did I put spark plugs in it? Well, we have a huge gas leak here. Where is that from? It is pouring out of somewhere. Pouring out of the fuel filter. Oh, I don't know who didn't tighten this hose clamp. They're fired.
2, 3.
Let's see if we got spark here. Got no spark. Why we have no spark? See, if you forget to wire up the negative side of the coil, you don't get any spark. So I was just actually testing you to see how committed you are to making this happen, and just go.
Jesus. What was that? I just in my pants. You got me scared to try it out.
Just go.
That don't sound good now.
That doesn't sound good at all. This never, ever goes the way that I want it to. We got leaky transmission fluid lines. That's all right, we could deal with that later. We didn't wire up the negative side of the coil. That was dumb, but we fixed it quick. Had a gas leak, fixed that. We should be all good. But that's not the way it goes all the time. We're having starter issues. I guess we get down there and find out what we got going on, eh? Oh, the starter, oh. That ain't right. Oh, jeez. There's the bolt right here on the floor. Oh, I remember. So when I put that starter on, I didn't have two of the right bolts. This one grabbed a hold like by one thread, and I was supposed to go get another bolt. Guess what I didn't do? Hopefully everything is still good. That was a nasty noise. And then it just wasn't doing anything. Not gonna lie, I was a little afraid that we broke it. Well, our transmission fluid leak, that's coming from this line right here, and it's not coming from a fitting, it's coming from right there. That may or may not be my fault. I may have nicked it with a grinder or the welder when I was modifying that transmission tunnel. Oops. Oh, I gotta get out of here. Sure, a lot of issues we have when we're getting close to done are all just stupid decisions or stupid things we've done. But it always happens. And just like that, it's the weekend again. Checking them off life one at a time, faster and faster. But I'm living life for the weekend, so that's okay with me for now. That's Friday after work, and it is extremely hot out, so I got the starter bolt we need. I'm gonna put that in. Then I'll probably just come out in the morning. All right, now we're talking. Yeah, you broke it.
I didn't break.
Tell that to this poor starter down here.
You told me to push the button.
You told me to push the button. Be tight. Those lines are going to be a pain. Not going to worry about it yet. So last night I got that other starter bolt in there, and I wish I would have looked at the gear on the starter and how it meshes with the flex plate. I'm a little worried that we may have damaged the starter during the whole situation. Let's just pretend that never happened. Got it back around to top dead center. Put my finger in number one spark plug hole, bumped the starter until it blew it out, then rotated it back to about 12 degrees before top dead center, because I think that's where these are happy. One more thing that I want to do is pop the distributor cap off and see where that rotor is, because we want to make sure that the next spark plug that it hits on is number one. I'm going to take a piece of tape and a marker, and we'll mark on that distributor where number one plug wire is. So there's number one. Put a mark right there. Get this air cleaner out of the way. Boy, I'm glad I looked at that. That rotor is definitely not pointed at number one. It might actually be, it's right around the 8, maybe even a little bit after. If this thing tries to fire on 8 first or number 4, that ain't gonna be good. So we're not gonna be able to rotate that around enough. So while we're setting that, pointing at the number one cylinder here, But in all actuality, it doesn't care where it's at. We just need to make sure that it hits on the right plug wires at the right times. And right now, it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. But what we could do is take all these plug wires off and move them one spot over. So that'll put number 1 here, over here, where that rotor is about to hit. That should set us up for a little more luck. One, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. To the best of my knowledge, that thing should be ready to pop off. Where's your button?
The button's not hooked up. Somebody didn't hook it up.
We got gas hooked up, we got top dead center, I went through that. This should just go, unless that starter's messed up. Oh! Yeah.
That was the best thing ever.
That sounded like it was right on, too.
That sounded amazing. Go team. Fucking ow!
It ran, sorta, for a minute, for a second. Go. That's exciting. This thing is gonna run well, but definitely having issues with that starter. So I'm thinking we damaged it when that bolt fell out and the thing twisted. So I went ahead and got the same one on the way, and as soon as it gets here, we'll throw that in and see if we can get this thing idling for longer than a couple seconds. I do love the sound of that whiny gear drive. It wasn't an epic first start video like we were hoping for, but it started. That's a huge win. I'll take it. We're gonna call it a wrap on this one though. That starter's not gonna be here for a couple days. When it does get here, we'll throw that on. Until then, thanks for coming by, hanging out with me again. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you all. Check out ltscustomgarage.com for hand-done pinstripe art, cool t-shirts, and I don't know, probably some other stuff. Can't wait till next time. See you out there.